the same face! Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Wild, loud, flamboyant, and impossible to ignore. These are characters you are not about to forget.
You think you did. That's her genius.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 eccentric movie characters.
Good morning, Pee-wee! Good morning, Mr. Breakfast!
For this list, we're looking at those memorable big screen characters that demand to be looked at and or that are larger than life in attitude, personality, and even fashion.
Do excuse me while I kill the man who ruined my life.
Be my guest.
Let us examine that claim for a moment, former Commodore, shall we?
Number 10. Bruno Gayhard, Bruno.
Ich was going to be the biggest Austrian superstar since Hitler.
With Sacha Baron Cohen's second mockumentary project, based on the Ali G Show characters, expectations were extremely high.
So my name's Bruno, I was born in Klagenfurt, I'm 19 years old, and of course you'll know me as the host of Funky Side.
When news broke that he would bring his extremely flamboyantly gay fashion reporter Bruno to the big screen, fans were worried at first.
Also, Herr mit Herzen von
But fans and critics were shocked to find that Cohen had more to say about homophobia in the world, and was less concerned with making an empty, stereotype-filled character.
Great, fantastic news. We have chosen your baby to be dressed as a Nazi officer pushing a wheelbarrow with another baby as a Jew in it into an oven.
Into an oven.
That is not to say that each prank isn't pure hilarity and over-the-top camp.
That's not the baby's name, is it?
No, I gave him like a traditional African name.
So what's the baby's name?
OJ.
Cohen has made an art form out of freaking regular, unsuspecting people out with his eccentric characters. And Bruno is truly a prime example.
How do you spot the homosexual?
Very hard to do.
Number 9. Ruby Rhod, The Fifth Element.
Quiver, ladies, quiver. He's gonna set the world on fire. Right here from 5 to 7, you know everything there is to know about that demon.
The then little-known Chris Tucker wrote the book on scene stealing in this sci-fi comedy action mashup, and became Hollywood royalty overnight. How could you not notice him?
This boy is fused like fire. So start melting, ladies, because the boy is hotter than hot. He's hot, hot, hot.
In a film that is itself eccentric, flashy, and indescribable, media darling and guide to the stars Ruby Rhod will leave you stunned and breathless, and will leave probably more than a few people annoyed.
Because if it was a bomb, the alarms will go off because all these hotels have bomb detectors, right?
Perhaps telling us more than we care to admit about where our culture of media-loving paparazzi glamour and bizarre fashion is headed in the future. Ruby Rhod stands out even among his extremely bizarre co-stars.
Yes! What's wrong with you? What's your screaming car? Every 5 minutes there's something, a bomb or something. I'm leaving.
Number 8. Albert Goldman, The Birdcage.
I woke up feeling so good. Now all of a sudden I feel so funny.
This comedy, a remake of a similar French film, is full of eccentric characters, from Hank Azaria's flashy foreign maid to Robin Williams' subdued but at times outrageous drag club owner Armand.
Armand, why don't you let me be in the show? Come on, aren't you afraid of my watermelonness?
Your what?
But no one can top Nathan Lane as Williams' drag queen by night partner.
Indifference is the most awful thing in the world, Armand.
Whether he's sporting leopard print, a floppy hat, or a sensible pink skirt suit, Albert, also known as Starina, also known as Mrs. Goldman, also known as Mrs. Coleman, and always the center of attention.
Here I am! Oh, please forgive me for being so late, but the traffic was unbelievable.
Hilarity ensues when they try to tone down their extravagant and eccentric lifestyle in order to welcome the very bland soon-to-be in-laws. Hide your feather boas. Number 7. Caesar Flickerman, The Hunger Games franchise.
Ladies and gentlemen, your master of ceremonies, Caesar Flickerman!
Science fiction and fantasy epics are breeding grounds for eccentric characters, and the Hunger Games series is no exception.
And try you will.
Although Elizabeth Banks' Effie epitomizes the capital's excess in fashion and greedy lifestyles.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
No character is more larger than life than Caesar Flickerman.
That was quite an entrance that you made at the Tributes Parade the other day.
Played with an almost psychotic, exaggerated serial killer smile by the great Stanley Tucci, Caesar stands as the voice of the nation.
Thank you! Thank you for being here tonight on the eve of the 75th Hunger Games!
He is an extreme version of reality show hosts, as he spends time interviewing the doomed contestants of upcoming Hunger Games with style and a creepy and unsettling charm.
What a night. Let's hear it.
That's so exciting!
Number 6. Austin Powers, the Austin Powers franchise.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Everyone knows him as the greatest spy 1960s swinging London had ever seen. And we will avoid using any of his catchphrases.
Do I make you horny? Randy?
Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah, do I?
The loud and colorful clothing, the over-the-top accent, and unavoidable teeth and chest hair might make him stick out like a sore thumb by today's standards, and therefore make him a terrible secret agent. But back in his own time, he fit right in.
That is one crazy getup you got there, fella.
Yeah, thank you.
He wouldn't even be a hilarious, eccentric, and memorable character had he not been frozen in time chasing Dr. Evil and woken up at the turn of the century.
Irresistible to women, deadly to his enemies, a legend in his own time.
Number 5. The Joker, Batman, and The Dark Knight.
Let me tell you what I'm thinking about, sweetie.
He might dress like a clown, paint his face like a clown, and laugh like a clown. But the Clown Prince of Crime is no laughing matter. Impossible to fit in, the Joker is often portrayed in bright purple clothing, neon green hair, and very often cackling and covered in someone's blood.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Batman's greatest nemesis and Freudian counterpart takes everything about Bruce Wayne's brooding, dark, shadowy world and turns it on its head.
Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
Never losing steam, the Joker has been a psychotic and perverse fashion statement for decades now.
He turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?"
Number 4. Jareth the Goblin King, Labyrinth.
What's said is said.
But I didn't mean it.
The 80s were a strange time, full of excess and flamboyant evil characters, especially in the bizarre fantasy films of the time.
Go back to your room. Play with your toys and your costumes. Forget about the baby.
The only way you can top that is by casting the most eccentric rock star you can find.
Your eyes can be so cruel. Just as I can be so cruel.
With David Bowie's star power, including hair metal look, and Jim Henson's bizarre imagination, Labyrinth became a weirdly entertaining cult classic. As the Goblin King, David Bowie spends his time wearing fancy robes, stealing babies, and playing with crystal balls. That wasn't enough. Cue the Goblin dance number.
Dance, magic, dance. Jump, magic, jump.
Number 3. Dr. Frank N. Furter, The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
See, you've met my faithful hand in hand.
Is he a scientist? A vampire? An alien? Or just a sweet transvestite?
Just a sweet transvestite.
Hard to tell underneath all that makeup and lingerie, but one thing is for sure. He is one hell of a lover.
I'm not much of a man by the light of day, but by night I'm one hell of a lover.
Tim Curry's now iconic portrayal shocked audiences in the 70s, not only because of how it redefined what over-the-top could mean, but also how it defined a generation by being simply otherworldly.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
And it made both men and women uncomfortably attracted to him.
For tonight is the night that my beautiful creature is destined to be born!
Frank broke all stereotypes and put them back together to create a new monster. Oh, Rocky.
Whatever happened to Fairy?
Number 2. Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
As if Gene Wilder's classic role as the famous chocolatier wasn't eccentric enough, Johnny Depp comes along decades later and Tim Burtons it up.
My name is Willy Wonka.
Although both actors brought the perfect amount of creepiness to the great Willy Wonka, the secluded and secretive genius who finally opens up his factory doors looking for a successor, Johnny Depp decided to ham it up with ever-changing bizarre outfits and creepy musical numbers. Might be a step up in the flamboyant scale from Gene Wilder's slightly psychotic and rage-suppressing inventor.
Invention, my dear friends, is 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple.
Either way, try not to cross either of them.
Lights, camera, action!
Before we lift the velvet curtain for our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
It's magnificent. Hello, my beauty. Oh, come with me.
Then I have one answer.
No more Kim.
You know what? Actually, I think we should talk about it more. Okay,
All right. We're just gonna talk.
We're just gonna talk.
By
about
all
it.
means.
Okay.
Just for the record, I don't have stank dick.
You need to go on stage, man.
I am on stage, Paul.
Oh, shit.
Boy, meet a friend. Arthur, this is Zaphod Beeblebrox, president of the galaxy. He's my cousin. He's a semi-half-brother.
He shares 3 of the same mothers as me.
We've met.
Have we?
Yeah. Come on, kids. What do I have to do to strike a deal with you two, huh? Don't you hate it when that happens? Let's go!
Number 1. Captain Jack Sparrow, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Where did you get that?
We're sure that everyone expected at least a couple of Johnny Depp moments on this list, as he's the king of outrageous and eccentric characters, such as the previously mentioned Willy Wonka and Edward Scissorhands, to name a few.
What's your name?
Edward?
In this, his most beloved and memorable character, Depp created a hero with such unique attitude, cadence, and mannerisms that it's safe to say he is responsible for the huge success of these films.
Seeing as there's 2 of us, a gentleman would give us a pair of pistols.
Captain Jack Sparrow might be a criminal and a liar, but he is always a man of honor.
You will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
Do you agree with our list? Which eccentric big screen characters have been etched into your memory? For more outrageous top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
So how did you find your son?
I swapped him.
You swapped him? Swapped the baby for what?
For an iPod.